job, buddy. Hey everyone, so yes, it has been a hot minute since I have been able to get on here and make a video. You can probably hear just from the way I'm talking that my sinuses are still quite stuffed up. So part of the reason that I've been completely MIA, besides the fact that it's just been such a busy September and October, we came out of 6 weeks of weddings. Canadian Thanksgiving is in October, so we were busy with that. And then moving into November, the end of October, we've had all of the sick here. So Joseph came home from school back at the end of October. He was sick actually for quite a few weeks, passed it on to all of us, and so within a matter of a few weeks, we have had, or at least I have had, sinus infection, yay, followed closely by strep throat, and then followed by RSV, which, by the way, Joseph had as well, and he did end up having to spend an overnight in Emerge to get fluids, because RSV is no joke. Everybody in Ontario is like sick right now. It just kind of sucks. So, quick update on what's going on. Fall bulbs are all in. We have done bulbs in 2 different places. So this year, because we've had a drier fall, I was able to get a good chunk of our bulbs planted at the old drive plot, which is going to turn into our main farm. However, because we are also planning to do flower subscriptions earlier in the spring next year, we have been planting bulbs that we will be able to start early in the backyard plot here. This is the section where we had ranunculus planted in the spring, and probably we will do the same, because my hope is that as we start to tunnel these in the spring, we will actually have most of these out of here by the end of March, early April, which is exactly the time when my ranunculus corms will be starting to go in the ground. So that's one big exciting thing. We have also done tulips here in the crates. So we have just about 1,000 tulips planted in this little section here, which is great. One of the things that we are really trying to get a hold of is earlier production for the wholesale clients, right? Instead of doing a lot of our double tulips very, very early in the spring, because they tend to have a later bloom time to begin with, what we're actually doing here is planting a lot of the singles, because those are ones I can get on my wholesaler's truck earlier in the season, and that I'm really excited about. So, another big exciting thing, as you can see behind me here, so we have had these like just regular round hoops sitting up against our fence that we bought off Kijiji, like at least 4 years now, like pre-pandemic. They've been sitting here. So we finally got the Hoophouse out, or at least like a little mini one. So this is about 10 by 20. It's not huge, but it's big enough. So I'm gonna take you inside. So you can see kind of in respect, this one behind me here is 8 by 12. So this is our good one that we use for seed starting. We have all the shelves built in that one. But this one has a door. So let's go in. Okay, so welcome to our new little backyard hoop house. So back in May and June, when we picked up the new hoop house that still needs to go up at the old drive plot, again, like I said, we have been so sick here that getting through November has just been such a slog. However, we were able to get this one up with the help of one of our staff members. So Jen came in on a weekend and she helped Nick, because let's be real, I don't do any of this kind of stuff, helped Nick frame it, get it all up. he installed the door, but it's double polyed. And so this poly that we have on here is actually the poly that came from the old hoop house. When we get the new hoop house up, we are going to be purchasing new poly for that one, mostly because this one actually is holey in places. And so what we did was we mapped it out and we figured out, you know, what parts we could use that were still good. And so it's a double layer on here, and just kind of behind, you can see we have a fan hooked up in here, so it actually kind of keeps it insulated, which is awesome. There's a good size in here. Nothing obviously is frozen, but most exciting, we were able to store extra dahlia tubers in here for couple, like at least 6 weeks anyways. Keep them away from the frost, which was great. And I was able to divide dahlias in here until the end of October. However, the weather in Ontario went from being like 16 degrees like one day in November and to like -3 the next. So we very quickly moved all the tubers in downstairs, put them on pallets, and we are still working on dividing them. I think I've got like maybe 8 to 10 crates left to do. I'm actually going to be doing a video soon because I'm back now and I'm feeling better and I can hear myself think again. On dividing dahlia tubers, I've saved some of my favorite varieties that are easiest to divide to show you how to divide well, so that you know what you're doing when you start to divide your dahlias. But what I wanted to tell you, what is so exciting about what is going on in this little mini hoop house is, so the first thing here, we are going to be able to overwinter the eucalyptus, right? And that is a really important step for us because one, I've had terrible luck with eucalyptus in the past. Like last year, if you've been following us, you know that our euc patch basically just drowned out at the old drive plot because where we planted it, I didn't realize was super low. They don't like that much water. So by putting it in here, we can temperature control it. It'll actually give it a good start, a good rest. We'll be ready to go in for next year, and I'll be able to use this yet in Christmas arrangements that we'll be sending out in about a month. Now, the other deeply exciting thing about what's going on in here is this, okay? So this here is where we actually had dahlias planted, the back. We mapped it out so that we could just put the hoops right over where I knew I wanted the rows to go. Down in here, all in here, we have ranunculus. It's like the end of November, starting December, and it is balmy in here. Like it is a good like 10, 12 degrees in here. I have ranunculus coming up here, and the ones that are in the back section that have been in here longer are actually starting to bud up, which means I'm hoping I'm gonna have ranunculus for Christmas. Our own ranunculus. No idea what colors are in here because a lot of what we've planted is just ranunculus that got missed in the Great Dig earlier in the season, so they actually started to come back up again. So we replanted them. We're gonna see what comes up. The other exciting thing is the anemones. I'm just gonna turn around the camera so that you can see those. So here, this was just supposed to be like a temporary spot for these, but they have like very much rooted in. And we're starting to get some bud leaves in here now. So you can actually see like our big anemone leaves are starting to come up, and we're starting to see, you know, some of these stronger upright stems here are actually going to be producing buds. So I'm going to have anemones as well. Again, no idea what's in here. That's okay. It's just kind of funny because this was an oops. And then if we move on to these ranunculus here, you know, you can see right down in here, those little bud leaves are starting. So this was delightful. Oops. That was delightful and unexpected, and I'm kind of pretty excited to see what happens in here. I might put a second planting. We actually still have those ranunculus that are in the house that I might do a second planting and just kind of fill out the spots, because honestly we can plant them a lot closer together. Now lastly, we've trampled on a lot of it as we've been kind of like working about what's going on in here. But I do still have some feverfew here beside the workbench, which is also starting to bud up again. So that's kind of fun. So for the first time ever, we have green beet grown flowers, or we will have green beet grown flowers in December. So that is really exciting. And I guess like a small silver lining after being sick for literally weeks. So I will go over, again, dividing dahlias and how we package everything in another video. But I wanted to show you kind of the aftermath of our season. So this is our cold storage room. Usually stays anywhere between 6 to 10 degrees Celsius in here, which might be a little warmer than you would like for dahlias, but it is the driest place that we have in our home. And they've done well here the past couple years. What we do here, right, is we're plastic bins. We make sure everything's labeled and divided in the fall. Oh, garlic knot. So you can see we keep dahlias here, but also, oh look, there's more. So many more. And then these sad looking trays of ranunculus here are the ones that I do actually need to get out into the hoop house, into the back. They worked, right? So pre-sprouting them worked. It's just, again, we've been sick for like 4 weeks here, so we're very behind on a lot of things that need to be done. And more dahlia tubers that are curing. So that is it for this video. I know it hasn't really been a lot of like showcasing the actual work that's being done on the farm, but like I said before, it's been such a long, busy couple months that I'm really just thankful to be able to speak without coughing at the moment. If you did enjoy this video, if this is your first time here, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I definitely encourage you to subscribe. Like the video if you enjoyed it. YouTube algorithm will bring you back hopefully for like, you know, what's going on next. I do have a bunch of videos over the winter that we'll be doing, so dahlia dividing is one, and I'm actually contemplating doing that as a live as well so that you can ask questions. So if that's something you're interested in, let me know in the comments. I've been doing dahlias now. I think this is like my 6th year growing dahlias. Not necessarily flower farming them the whole time, but like growing dahlias, and so I know a little bit about dahlias. I'd love to share that process with you over a live stream if that's something that you're interested in seeing. And then the other thing that I wanted to do, if you guys are interested in, is some wreath arrangement videos and just arrangement videos, right? Part of what I love about my business is that I do operate as a flower farm and floristry model, which means that I do bring floral in through the winter for my clients, usually wholesaled through a local provider, the same one that I actually like source my flowers to as well. So if that's something you're interested in doing, is learning a little bit about different arrangement styles and how I kind of piece together like my no foam arrangements, I'd love to show that for you as well. Last exciting thing is, yay, we qualify for a shop now on YouTube. So you can see below, I've got some linked products there. So the proceeds from those obviously continue to go towards the farm and the shop and the business, and you know, just general feeding us, which is great. I'd love for you guys to collect some merch. We've got some cool stuff down there, and I'm going to be adding some more stuff over the next couple days as well. So thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you had a great day. We will see you next time, and I promise it won't be another 2.5 months. Bye.